What is going on, silver and black fans? Welcome to a live episode of Spurs in Focus right here on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Podcast. Pick a platform. We are there. Don't forget about the Substack, completely free. Spurs in Focus, Substack. Google that. Sign up. Hit subscribe. You're in for free. Yeah, I'm giving it away. Go take advantage of that right now. As always, we thank you for making Spurs in Focus your first and only spot for all things San Antonio Spurs. You want to follow that guy you see on your screen, Mr. Rudy Campos at The Sports Answer. Follow me on X at Jeff G. Spurs Zone. And I am your host, Jeff Garcia, longtime Spurs writer in San Antonio. What are we talking about today? The Summer Spurs. They still haven't won a game in the summer. Yeah, they're still winless. We're going to look back at game one out in Vegas. Really not much to talk about as far as wins and losses, but there are a couple of things that stood out. Rudy and I are going to talk about that. Then get into some Spurs news. I know y'all heard it by now. Jacob Toby is allegedly out of the play-by-play announcer seat. We'll talk about that briefly. And then getting some other feel-good news, such as Carter Bryant gifting his mom a very nice gift, a new Spurs mural, and the latest rumory Spurs thing regarding Keldon Johnson. Get that and more. Rudy Campos, how you doing, buddy?
Good, man. Good. It's been a long week so far. Looking forward to the weekend. Kind of relax a little bit. Gonna be doing a coffee show, I guess, in New
What's that?
Braunfels.
A coffee show?
Yeah, this Saturday in New Braunfels from 8 to 1. I don't remember the address. They're having another like a coffee thing where you just go and try different coffees from different vendors and stuff like that. So, looking forward to that, man. Finally get to relax a little bit after work's just been really kicking my butt.
I see you as a coffee guy.
You know what? I am. My wife introduced me to coffee a long time ago, and
Yeah.
I started to actually drink it a lot more, especially since I started losing weight. That's kind of one of the things you want to drink on a weight loss. So I'm hoping if anybody's out there, give me a flavored coffee where I don't have to add sugar or creamer. I'm trying to
right.
a black coffee that is like really flavorful. I haven't been able to find one that I can really enjoy. So I'm up for any ideas out there.
I like my coffee straight, just black, right out of that pot. But I have to add at least 2 sweet and lows. I gotta have at least 2 sweet and lows. And
Yeah.
if not,
Well,
I can't
okay.
handle it.
I used to use sweet and low, but now I'm a Splenda guy, but I'm trying to avoid any type of sugar substitutes. So I there's got to be a flavor coffee out there that's
There's
really,
gotta
really
be one.
good.
Yeah. Let Rudy know if you know a flavored
Please,
coffee
please.
without adding the add sugar. Let's do that. ASAP, everybody. The chat room is open. Leave your chat comments. Rudy's monitoring it. Heads up, everybody. We're probably going to be on hyperdrive. You're in the Millennium Falcon. Chewy's next to us. We're going to tell him to punch it in a few seconds, and we're going to hit hyperdrive. Rudy and I got stuff to do later on this evening. All right, Rudy, let's get into it. The Summer Spurs, they have not won a single game this summer. They lost all games out in the California Classic, 0-3, and now they're 0-1 to start the Vegas Summer League, a grand total of 0-4. Again, it's not about the wins and losses. It's about player development. Let's get this right off the bat. Terrence Reed, he's looking better and better with each summer game. Now, I know it's Summer League play. The competition is different, but in game one of the Vegas Summer League, in 21 minutes, 14 points, 5 of 9 shooting, 2 for 2 from the free throw. He had a double-double. He had 10 rebounds, 14 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 2 turnovers, and 4 offensive rebounds. He was just everywhere, defensively and offensively. And I was watching him play, Rudy, and this game perhaps was one of his better games. God, I say, like the words came out of my mouth like rugged. He's willing to do the dirty work. He's going to mix it up and get physical. That's what I took away from his Vegas Summer League debut.
So you, in the past couple of games that he's actually, did really well in double-double, I believe in both of them. Let me ask you this. I compare him a lot to Roy Hibbert. Do you kind of see that comparison now around the basket? Does a little bit of things. I mean, he's not flashy. He just kind of gets that stuff done, similar to what Roy does. I mean, do you kind of maybe see where I'm coming where on that one?
I'm glad you brought that up because there's a fan that's cooking you on the YouTube Spurs in Focus side for making that comparison. I meant to bring that up to your attention, but you're here. So if you want to take a few seconds to go look at that, some fan has an issue with you comparing him to Hibbert.
I'm sure it's a guy that lives on the couch. So, yeah, I mean.
I get what you're saying, but I think he's likely can probably do more than Hibbert. I think the floor is Hibbert. How's that? Maybe his ceiling is could be his ceiling. Okay, how about this? Jalen Duren. I'm okay with that.
Well, yeah, and the thing is, when I made that comparison again, like I said, it's probably a fan that lives in mommy's basement. So I mean, I'm not worried about what they say. When I said his game is comparable right now to Roy Hibbert, and that's kind of what I'm hoping to get out of him right
Mhm,
now. Never said his ceiling was Roy Hibbert. I mean, I like the Jalen Durham
mhm,
ceiling that you kind of put on him. I don't. This is the thing. I don't expect him to be as defensive quality as
mhm.
Jalen Duren is, but a better offensive player, obviously, Roy Hibbert, not Roy Hibbert, Terrence Reed is.
There's
So
free.
that's I would say a comparison. I'm trying to give another guy that we could think of here, but nonetheless, um, great showing in Vegas for for his first outing there. You seem to be a lot
He
more
did good.
comfortable. Game one was the one game where I looked at like, man, he looks confused, he looks lost.
Mhm.
May have taken him a little bit of time to get used to the system, get used to the NBA game. It is a lot
Yeah.
faster. But the past couple of games that he's played, Jeff, he's starting to look like a gem at that spot. They were able to trade Denver for him, and again, you needed to fill the big body in the front court, and you're actually adding with him and Terrace Reed. So I like what I'm seeing so far. I really, really think that. Remember, I told you in the last show I think if he's able to have a decent summer league and have a decent, preseason, as long as training camp, he could carve up some of those 7, 8 minutes that you would maybe expect a rookie to get. Maybe not even towards the end of the game. I'm thinking he can probably carve up some minutes early in the
Mhm.
season to get into that first, maybe second quarter, and then maybe get in the third and fourth quarter to kind of spell Victor and maybe to spell Luke Cornett as well. So
Mhm.
I think he's on the right path of doing that. So far, so good for Terrace Reed.
Yeah, Terrace Reed, like I said, little by little is getting better and better with each summer league game. Again, you put that in perspective, it is a summer league. We'll see how he does in training camp and, of course, the preseason.
Mm,
He's like he gets some burn in Austin, but I think because of the Spurs being so kind of thin at the big man department, because after Cornette, who do you go to? Carter Bryant? I don't know if you want to go to an undersized Carter Bryant at the big spot, considering how the Thunder got bigger with Mara and, of course, Chet Holmgren.
mhm.
Because they got Joker and those big boys out there in Denver. So there's that as well. Of course, you can't forget about Portland with what was that big guy out there?
Donovan Clingan.
Donovan Clingan. So I mean, the West they got some big boys. So maybe that's how he'll earn his spot. And as summer league head coach Corliss Williamson said, the best way that Terrace Reed is going to get some minutes in San Antonio is by doing the dirty work, by throwing his body around, getting rebounds. As I mentioned, he had 4 offensive rebounds. That is pretty good. That's four
Yeah.
of his 10 rebounds. But that's second chance opportunities for the Spurs. And look, he's being effective near the paint, 5 or 9 from the field. He ain't gonna light it up from three. I mean, not deep twos. He took one 3-pointer out in Vegas, and missed it. But hey, you know what? I don't think they traded for him to be the next Steph Curry. They just need a big body down below. Get those other bigs off Victor's back so Victor can be Victor and play away from the basket as long as he wants.
Mhm.
But they got somebody down there that's going to man the paint when Victor's roaming. So again, it is summer league. He did stand out in game one out in Vegas, and he's getting progressively better. Rudy, let's talk about Carter Bryant, who made his Vegas summer league debut, his first game playing this summer. Had a rough start. He didn't come alive into the third period where he scored 8 points in a row. But Carter Bryant, 25 minutes, 12 points, 4 for 13 from the field, made one 3-pointer, and had 1 assist, 2 rebounds, and a whopping 4 turnovers. And he had no steals and 2 blocks. Again, I know you were kind of harsh with him because you had texted me. You said, "Oh man, Carter Bryant looks pretty bad right now."
Yeah.
I want to give him the benefit of the doubt that he's been away from the game for a while. Let's see, get his basketball legs up. But I don't think they're going to play him a lot of burn in Vegas. Maybe 2 more games, 2.5 more games, and
Mhm.
that's it. They're shutting him down. But as we saw, Rudy Carter did come alive in the second half.
Yeah, I texted you in the first half at halftime, like, man, Carter Bryant looks terrible out there. I
Mhm,
mean, he was really rushing his jump shot a lot, especially from beyond the arc. I mean, I don't know if he even hit rim on a few of those shots beyond the arc.
mhm,
So Carter Bryant, off to a rough start, came in the second half. I think he was scoreless at halftime, ended up with 12
mhm,
points at the end of the game. So came alive second half. It looked to me like he was really just trying too hard instead of letting the game come to him. And again, it's his second year in the league. He's coming off of a finals run with San Antonio. Probably expecting him to do a whole lot, but more than anything, I think what we kind of expect him to come in was kind of get this rookie class, a lot of these younger guys, just understanding, hey, this is the way Spurs play ball. This is the way, we have to practice, yada, yada, yada. Kind of being that mentor. And I mean, I'm kind of glad he had a better second half because if he would have really went scoreless, really 2 or 3 points in these summer league
Mhm.
game, I think it'd be really concerning for me. But nonetheless, you're right. It could be just summer league, jitters in that first
Mhm.
game. But again, playing with guys that he probably hasn't practiced much with since coming off of the end of the season. So I'm glad he had a good second half. I hope to see him at least in the next game, be a little bit more calmer and look
Mhm.
for his shot. Maybe get to the basket a little bit more than relying on jump shots. He's got a lot to work on, so you can't really knock it all out in the first couple of games of summer. And I
Yeah.
think what Corliss Williamson said, they're going to suit him up for the next game, and then after that, it's probably kind of just hey, if he plays, he plays. If he doesn't, no big deal. He just only get a couple of games in.
Yeah, exactly. And look, he is a key piece to the Spurs moving forward. He is a rotation player, but he's kind of unnoticed now with Tobias Harris on board. Tobias Harris is still productive. Does he eat minutes into Carter Bryant? Probably.
Yeah.
But if I'm Carter Bryant in the summer league and the minimum games I'm going to get, I'm going to try to show off that I've gotten better offensively. I think that's where he needs to work on is on the offensive end. Be a little bit more consistent 3-point threat. Be that 3-and-D guy that he is projected to be and is trending that way.
Mhm.
But at least in one game for his summer league debut, not bad in the second half. I'm going to reserve judgment. I'll see how many more games he plays in the summer league before I say, okay, the kid still needs work. But if anybody who still needs work is Jacoby Gillespie. Now, 23 minutes, 12 points. My God, does he not have a shot that he won't take, Rudy? He goes 5 for 13 from the
Mhm.
field, 2 for 6 from the three line. He was a minus 10 for the Summer Spurs versus the Hawks. He did have 6 assists. He did, but he had minimal turnovers, one, but it's the shooting. The shooting. He is just a gunner. And the Spurs need some offensive production from the guard spot. They have it with Fox and Castle and Harper. They definitely have it with Gillespie, but I think he needs to find his shot selection to be better because he's just breaking shots.
I mean, we called it on draft night when we had the draft show when we did it. Like Jacoby Gillespie, he's a scorer. You're bringing him in to hopefully be a point guard at one point, but I mean, you're not going to really get point guard play out of him. He's just a natural born scorer, and I mean, just like the guys that are defending Terrence Reed, and nobody on the chat right now, but the guys that are defending Terrence Reed saying that, he's gonna be more than Roy Hibbert. I mean, the same guys that are thinking Jacoby Gillespie is guaranteed a spot on this team because he's a scorer and not so fast. I mean, you mentioned they've got plenty of scorers. They even went out and got another scorer in Tobias Harris at the offseason. So the one question I've got with Jacoby Gillespie is like I asked you, is he better than David Jones Garcia? I mean, no,
Mhm.
he's not. So for anyone to think he's going to come in and take spots and get points and come in on this Spurs team, it's not going to happen. He's going to be off. He's going to be Austin bound for a while there. And sure, he can improve. I mean, but there's a reason why he was drafted in the second round, and
Mhm.
you're seeing why because he's kind of limited to what he's able to do, and that's put up shots that anybody would get, fined and cut for. He's willing to do those shots up and throw them up because he's just got a scorer mentality, which is nothing
Mhm.
negative. There's not a negative on a player for having a
Mhm.
scorer's mentality. But he's got to be able to take better shots. He only shot
Mhm.
38% from the field today, 33% from beyond the arc. So you're going to see more struggles from him when it comes to getting the shot off. You may see a bunch of, hey, he scored 20 tonight, but maybe off of like 28, 30 shots. So, I mean, that's where you got to really Gillespie is that you're not going to get the point guard mentality right away. You're hoping that he kind of gels and he kind of bonds into that point guard
Yeah.
mentality and they're able to work with him in Austin. But again, he would have had 12 points and people can say, well, he's averaging double digits. But I mean, the percentage is not great. He should have at least 18, 19 points. Would have been a lot better than the 12 points that he had.
Yeah, exactly. I wish maybe they'll help him become more of a pass first person player. I don't think so. I think they like the score, and obviously they would have
Super
drafted
hard.
him.
It's super
But
hard to make
yeah,
a score into a
yeah.
pass first. Look at Allen Iverson. I mean,
Hmm.
he he was brought in to be a point guard, but yet he at the end of the day, he's gonna be a
Yeah,
scorer mentality. He's gonna score the
yeah.
basketball.
He does everything else well. I mean, he can rebound for his side. He had 3 rebounds. He had 6 assists, which is good. 2 steals in game one versus the Hawks in summer league play. He had a block, 3 offensive rebounds. So again, we understand the summer league competition, but he's showing a little bit of everything. It's just that shot, man. That shot needs to improve. I think that's how he's gonna probably
Yeah.
make his way to San Antonio. Because let's face it, 90% of his rookie season is probably going to be in Austin. Everybody. Oh, by the way, in case you were wondering, everybody, the Summer Spurs lost 93-66 to the Summer Hawks. So they got wrecked. They got wrecked in Vegas. But again, wins and losses don't matter. The other rookie, Malik Brown, he finished with 23 points in his Vegas debut.
Yeah.
2 points, missed all his shots, just made a free throw. When he had 4 rebounds and assists, 3 steals though. That's pretty impressive. And 2 offensive rebounds and 6 defense. Two defensive rebounds. There we go. So overall, par for the course for him. You're not expecting him to be an offensive juggernaut as we saw in Vegas game one, but he again finishes with 4 rebounds, an assist, 3 steals, showing that he can get it done defensively.
Yeah, Malik Brown, I mean, again, just kind of a defensive guru type of guy. You drafted
Yeah.
him to have another big body. You drafted him also to develop him. The offensive explosion that we got in the first game of Summer League and the California Classic, you're probably not going to ever get that again. You're not going to see
Yeah.
that again. But I mean, again, you just drafted him because he's a big body. He can take up space on the floor. He's going to be a defensive presence. He's going to be able to block shots. But again, just like Jacoby Gillespie, he's going to more than likely be Austin bound for a good amount of his career. Ranking them right now, I mean, he's not better. He's not going to give you any more production than what you're going to get out of Harrison Ingram. Gillespie's not going to give you any more production than you're going to get out of David Jones Garcia. So, yeah, those two guys are going to probably take their spots in Austin because I think both of those guys have a good opportunity to make the active roster coming this season.
Mhm.
If the Spurs make no more moves in the offseason, you're talking about those two guys probably taking over for Mason Plumlee and maybe
Mhm.
Kelly Olynyk's spot. So yeah, those two guys are going to take over the Austin spots for them too. But yeah, Malik Brown, I have no complaints with Malik Brown. You're getting
Yeah.
exactly what you're
You know what you
expecting to get
drafted
out of
for.
him.
Yep.
So there's no complaints with him. And I don't have any complaints about Gillespie either. I mean, you drafted him to score, you drafted him to get his feet wet in the NBA. So honestly, the draft picks for the 2026 draft, Jeff, they've hit on all of them. I can't even complain about Quains because he's going to probably redshirt his freshman year
Mhm.
or rookie year. But we know what we're getting out of Quaintance. We're getting out a guy that's
So
very physical, can rebound the ball, can play really great defense. Is going to be a perfect complement to Terrence
yes.
Reed. I mean to Victor. I think we had a comment about Terrence Reed that he's ready to go right now next to Victor.
I don't know
I
about
don't
that,
know if
but
he's ready now, but
yeah.
he's on the path to where I think Mitch
Yes.
can tinker with the Terrace Reed
Yeah.
Victor combination a little bit and feel a little bit more comfortable.
As we saw last year, Mitch Johnson was okay with playing a rookie a lot of minutes, Carter Bryant. So I think that will apply to Terrace Reed. Because let's face it, everybody, he's only probably going to be Terrace Reed getting any burn, well, major burn in San Antonio.
Mhm.
We know Gillespie probably be in Austin for a lot of next season, and Malik Brown definitely will be there, barring injury, of course.
Yeah.
But it's going to be Terrace Reed, and like Rudy mentioned, Queens is pretty much red shirted. All right, that's how the main rookies look like. But there's a couple other standouts. You had a guy who's been lining up the summer league, Emmanuel Miller, 22 minutes, 7 points, 3 for 6 shooting from the field, and off the bench. You had R.J. Davis, a guy that you have circled in your notebook there,
But I don't know
25
anything.
minutes, 12 points. He was a minus 20 for the Summer Spurs, but he did have 2 steals, 3 turnovers. That's what hurt him. Three
Mhm.
assists and 2 rebounds. He missed all his 3-point shots. So there it is. Again, outside of the big rookies playing the summer league, I think it's going to be hard for any other summer Spur to crack this rotation. RJ Davis would have to have a phenomenal game, like from the next game on, just shooting lights out. There really hasn't been that gem that the Spurs usually find in summer league play, has there?
No, and I mean, again, I mentioned RJ Davis. He's going to be an Austin guy if he sticks with San
Oh, yeah,
Antonio.
for sure.
Here's the thing with the San Antonio summer squad. There's only one guy that's going to have an opportunity to make the active roster, and that's Terrence Reed. I mean, there's really nobody else that's going to make the active roster. Emmanuel Miller's been putting up some really good numbers. I know he had 7 points today, but again, he's still a little whiles away, from being on the active roster. So, Terrace Reed's the only guy that you want to circle that has the opportunity to make the active roster and possibly get playing time with the main rotation. Outside of that, I mean, guys like RJ Davis, he's going to more than likely be Austin bound for us all there. Your two other draft picks, and Jacoby, Malik Brown, Emmanuel Miller, he has an opportunity to make and crack the out roster, but I don't see it happening until maybe 2027. He's still about another good year away from possibly cracking any type of spot on that active roster. And yeah, for everybody else, I mean, you're really not expecting anything else at all.
Yeah, exactly. And I think about Miller, though, I expected a little bit more out of him just because he's been with the Spurs system, because he is an Austin Spurs player. And I expected a little bit more out of him. I thought he would be the gem they find or rediscover so far in summer league play. But again, he's been okay. He hasn't really been like David Jones Garcia level or Gary Neal levels we saw years ago.
Yeah.
Bryn Forbes level. Remember Bryn Forbes summer league where he was just knocking down every shot, looking like the next coming of Steph Curry. There really hasn't been that level of play. But again, your summer Spurs drop a game to start off their summer league play. I believe they play on what's today? Thursday?
Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday. Yeah, they play Saturday against. Hopefully, the summer Spurs can get their first win. All right, when we get back, catch up with some Spurs news. Yes, we're going to briefly touch on the Toby situation.
That was the question.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
What talk briefly? We're not going to make a big deal about it. Kind of just gloss over it, and then get into a KJ rumor. In my opinion, is too speculaty, but we'll have some fun with it, and so much more coming up next, right here on Spurs in Focus with Mr. Rudy Campos of the Sports Answer. Follow him on X at the Sports Answer.
As the new leader of the Decepticons, I command you to subscribe to Spurs in Focus.
You get the keys to the Thunder tank. Rudy, what's the first thing you're doing?
I don't know, because that's
I'm not going to be teaching. What do I do with this?
I mean,
awesome piece of machinery.
I would think you'd go into the Rocky Mountains and just kind of take it up that mountain left and right. But I mean, on the street, not really a good thing on the street to drive, I would think.
I would take the ride to the next con that I host, which is Big Texas. I just not going to tell the organizers. I'm not going to tell anybody. I'm just going to pull up in the tank, park it in front of Henry B. Gonzalez, and just let everybody soak it in.
But is it I can't remember. Is it a transportation that is good on roads? I mean, it was always on gravel, wasn't it?
I mean, it's tearing up Commerce Street. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't want it on a road because it would tear up every road. So
well. I cannot hide the fact that I have the tank. No, I can't.
Yeah.
It was. I want to know, the tank is bigger than the tumbler, right? Yeah, it has to be because it was a rotation.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean,
it's a beast.
I'm not going to deny or confirm that I am the one that owns the only Airwolf in the world. So I do have a cave. I do have land in South San Antonio. So
I do see a mystery helicopter pop out of Seguin area. That area sometimes. I don't know who it could be.
Sometimes. I do have land in South San Antonio, just FYI. So I do have certain
Stinson Field. We are back, everybody. This is a live edition of Spurs in Focus right here on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Podcasts. The Spurs in Focus Substack is completely free. Go sign up right now. Hit subscribe, and you are in. And just again, for those of you just joining us, we're kind of hitting light speed on this episode. Rudy and I cannot be too late. So we got stuff to do. We got to do some adulting, as these kids say. So yeah, we got stuff to do. All right, let's hit it. Briefly, as y'all know and aware of, Spurs, well, I guess a legend now, former Spurs TV play-by-play announcer Jacob Toby has been fired by the organization after allegations of him having an affair with his now ex-girlfriend and with a player's sister, and that is Lindy Waters' sister.
Mm.
Again, just to make this very clear, the San Antonio Spurs organization has not made a public statement on this. So technically, it is just an allegation and a speculation, right? But ultimately, a lot of people had a lot of opinions on this. Like, were the Spurs right to fire him, even though he was not married? The individual was not a player. The individual or individuals were not connected, like strongly connected to the organization.
Mhm.
Yeah, and was she wrong, the ex-girlfriend now, for publicly shaming him, publicly humiliating him, which looks like it may have cost his job. Now, Toby on social media has shut down his social medias. They are now blocked. So obviously he's not making a statement. But on the scale of 1 through 10, I was asked this earlier today, Rudy, how shocked was I? I was at a 4. I wasn't really that shocked because A, the Spurs want to have a squeaky clean image.
Mhm.
B, they don't like this type of attention drawn to the organization. And let's face it, they're all about family. That's what they preach every time. Por vida, Spurs family. You go to a game. What's up, Spurs family? From the announcers, the in-arena announcers. I think this probably brought a little dark light on them. And ultimately, the CEO of the Spurs, Buford, and all the higher ups, those people above Toby made a decision, at least allegedly, to fire Toby. Again, this is via Front Office Sports. They were the first ones to report this.
Yeah.
So, again, my opinion is I'm not surprised the Spurs did this. I am surprised, though, that they I mean, it's like, I think it was a Cowherd said, like, I guess you can now get fired for
Cheating on your girlfriend.
cheating on your girlfriend. I mean, that I don't think, although that's basically what it was. I think it was the extraneous things. It was a player's sister, and then he's a front-facing person for the organization, constantly on TV at public appearances, doing meet and greets with fans.
Yeah.
I think those two in combination just ultimately, if true, cost him his job.
Yeah, a difficult situation, man. And I think one fan saying, remember the Josh Primo issue. This was not a Josh Primo issue. That was
this is
that
Josh
was
Stewart was a different level.
Primo was a massively huge level.
Allegedly showing his weenie, everybody.
Yeah, and I mean this isn't anywhere near that. And I see a couple more comments. I'll get to those in a minute. But I mean, you're right, man. I mean, it's I understand what the Spurs did. We all understand why the Spurs did it. It brought a negative light. So much so that it got national attention on Cowherd and TMZ. And it's weird. And I don't know if I'm gonna get crap for it, but you brought a guy who's, could you really say he's a celebrity? I mean, outside of San Antonio, no.
It's locally, yeah, locally, yes.
And even locally, is he that huge of a celebrity locally? I mean, it's
he
debatable.
does do young Spurs events, like
Yeah.
basketball camp. So there's that.
Okay. I mean, again, I don't really pay much attention to the media locally, so I really don't know how big somebody is.
Yeah.
But just getting to a national level, I think if it was kept at the local level and everything, I think maybe internally things could have worked out. We've seen past players kind of diddling with other players' wives. So I mean, that was held internally, that was taken care of internally. But because it got so much national attention, I think that's when the Spurs were like, hey, and again, they haven't released a statement. So we really don't know.
As of this show,
Yeah,
really
no statement has been released. So as of right now, we're assuming that the Spurs did end up firing him. Because I think it got to that national level. And you know what, man? It's not right. I mean, I know it's not, few people do what they do, and a person is on that kind of level, they don't do it. It's not right. But again, it's the Spurs decision ultimately. They look at it, and if Cowherd's right, it says he needs a lawyer up. Whatever happens. I don't have much to say on it because I don't really dive into other people's lives. If it doesn't affect the team on the court, then it really doesn't affect me at all. It's a behind the scenes type of thing. San Antonio Spurs are going to do what they want to do with it. And for me, I kind of just leave it at that. I have no opinion on it because again, it doesn't really affect what happens on the court. Now,
Yeah.
If it affects, what happens on the court, then okay, we've got to really dive in deep with it. But since it doesn't, and Lindy Waters is not even on the team right now, so there's just so many
Well,
things that
I'm,
happen with it.
I'm glad you brought that up. And I also think too for the Spurs, they don't want other potential free agent players that are coming and say like, "Oh, your staff messes around with my siblings."
Yeah, I get that too. I
You
get
know,
that too.
so there's that. But for me, I just feel like this was a personal battle between him and his now ex girlfriend,
Mhm.
and it should have been left that way. I don't think season ticket holders are going to cancel their subscriptions to season tickets because
No,
Toby was doing something behind his girlfriend. Now ex girlfriend's back. I don't think that's right. I don't think it was going to hurt the bottom line. But it does set an ugly precedent, though. It does. I mean, for me,
yeah, it does.
in the corporate world, it sets an ugly precedent because what if? Okay, but I'm not going to use you. What if I'm making this up? I'm making this up, everybody.
Don't use
What if-
me. Use a
Okay,
different
fine.
name. Use a different name.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, fine. Like, what if?
Joe
What if?
Schmo. We'll use Joe
What if
Schmo.
Joe Schmo? What if Joe Schmo
Mm,
is a Spurs employee and he gets ticketed for a DWI?
mhm.
I mean, is that enough? Or what if a person's spouse, girlfriend, boyfriend just makes an allegation towards the Spurs employee and it gets viral on social media? Is that enough to fire you? I don't like the rolling hill that this can cause. Uh,
You brought up a good point about like a DWI. So I mean, it's public knowledge. We're not accusing anybody or anything like that, or bringing up a bad storm or whatever. It's public knowledge. But I mean, we've seen guys, Mike Budenholzer, RC Buford, they've been pulled over and
mhm,
have had issues with the law in the past.
mhm.
And again, people question, well, that was probably worse than what Jacob Toby did.
Oh
And
yeah,
again, I can see that too, so there's certain things that happen, for organizations, and for whatever reason, some get dealt with, some don't. I have no idea. I don't work for the Spurs organization, so I can't really tell you what goes on behind the scenes, Jeff. But you're right. I mean, I get why they did it. I get because they want to keep that squeaky clean image, but then you go back to other people who I've seen on social media. Well, remember this happened. Remember this happened. This person stayed. This
yeah,
person stayed. Why all of a sudden does this, take precedence, and why does he get fired for it? I sit back and I look like, I don't know. I mean, I've been DM'd and I've been asked like, what are your opinions? I really don't have an opinion on it because I don't know how the Spurs operate. And they say, well, what's your personal? What would you have done? I was like, I don't know. I don't want to be put in that situation. I don't know what I would have done had, an employee of mine done that. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And for me, it was just this was a personal issue. It had nothing to do with the job.
Yeah.
If it impacted the job, then maybe the Spurs have it. I honestly think that he probably in his contract had a morality clause or morals clause that anything look bad, fuck
Sure.
bad,
Yeah.
bad on the organization would do you in. And knowing the Spurs and the image they want to present, this made them look bad. And then you mix in a player's involvement in this way, Water's
Mhm.
sister. And the reason why we know it's Water's sister is because the ex-girlfriend pretty much named her in the social media posts and put her on there. So I think you mix that in with the fact that he's a front-facing person for the organization who does community events, who does MC, like when they have some sponsor, the sports answer is sponsoring the Spurs for the upcoming season. Usually he will be the one to present that introduction. He does youth events in San Antonio, and I think it was just the perception of it. But I think if true, again, the Spurs have not made a statement, but if
Yeah.
true, then he's done in the NBA, right?
That's sad, man. I mean, he was actually pretty good. I mean,
Yeah.
some people said he was boring. I mean, for full knowledge, I watch a lot of Spurs games without sound at all. I kind of watch them because if I start listening to play by play, I start hearing what they're saying without concentrating on the game. So I do what's called a scout version of the game. I
Mhm.
have it on mute and I look at the game as a scout would. That way, there's no interaction, no nothing from
Right,
anybody.
right.
Um, But I mean, from what I hear, he did a pretty good job on the. People say it's boring, so people say he did a really good job. But as far as an
I felt
NBA,
mixed. Yeah.
yeah, as far as NBA goes, I mean, I think people have bounced back from worse situations, and they
Marv
bounced back.
Alberts.
Remember the biting scandal with
Yeah.
Marv Albert? I mean, yeah, I mean, people have bounced back from worse situations. It's not ever the end of the world for anybody. Does he get another job in the NBA? He probably could. I
I don't
mean,
think he does, man. I don't think he does.
even if he
Because
does it, I
he
mean,
got canned from the Spurs. If true, that's a big organization there. That's one of the top tier organizations.
yeah, that's true. But I mean,
I think
don't
he lands in college, some sort of college level.
I mean, Josh Primo got picked up by the Bulls and the Clippers, and he was, showing his dinger to, women. So,
Dinger.
I mean, why should not Jacob not get an opportunity with another NBA team? I mean, that's
Yeah. For me, it's just the precedent that says like what, like
get it.
how
I get that.
much, how much personal issues can a team or an organization, a company flex on and get you canned? Also too, this makes me think too that what if the Spurs didn't think he did a good job and they just found a reason to let him go?
We don't really know. It's hard to
No, we don't know.
speculate. It's too difficult to speculate. And the reasoning could come out. San Antonio Spurs just parted ways with Jacob Toby. They feel like they would rather go in a different way because maybe ratings were down. I mean,
Yeah.
we
Well,
really
ratings were up this year, but
we really don't know exactly, what they were going to come out with. It. Honestly, I don't even think the Spurs make a statement. I think the only statement they make is we parted ways with Jacob Toby, and that's it. They don't
I
have
think
to
it's gonna
give
come
him.
out like I think it's gonna come out like this. They're just gonna make an announcement who the next I mean their TV play-by-play announcer is.
But
So
they've
kinda like
yet to announce that he's gone. So you have to make the announcement that he's gone before you
you
can
can
announce.
combo it. You can combo it.
No, that's what I'm saying. They're just gonna
Yeah, yeah.
basically say we parted ways with Jacob Toby. Thank you for being an announcer for the past couple of years. We are going in this new direction of so and so. And can we say I think Dan Weiss might be next in line to
I think our good friend Hector Ledesma should be considered too.
he tried to get me to do play-by-play in high school games one time, and I never was able to do it. But
See,
yeah.
you could have had the experience, Rudy. You could have got the
Oh
job.
God. I don't think I can last an entire NBA game without throwing four-letter words out there. So very bad. I would have to really practice that. That would be
Yeah.
really something to
I
practice.
think in this situation, everybody looks bad.
Yeah.
The Spurs, I know they did what they did, but again, the precedent that is set here, man, it's scary. It's just scary. Like, what's next? You get drunk at your cousin's party and a picture comes out that you're having fun with your family and you're just drunk, and oh no, that looks bad on the company. We gotta let you go.
Yeah.
What's next? You trip and fall and you start saying cuss words left and right and it goes viral on social media. Oh no, you're using foul language. We don't want that. What's next? Like, when does it end? When does it end?
Yeah.
And it just shame me, because look, the Spurs legal department is top notch, and they must have felt very, very secure to say, "No, you got to go."
Yeah.
Yeah, which makes me think there probably was a morality clause, something like that. He just violated the crap out of it.
So I hate to say it like this. You bring up morality clause, which I see that, and you see that on a lot of contracts, especially for professional athletes. I mean, it's in there. But excuse me. So how does the investigation go in this? I mean, if they were broken up when this
His
happened,
ex-girlfriend made it easy for everybody.
well, no, I'm saying you're going off of word of mouth. I mean, word of mouth is a very difficult subject to deal with because what if they were broken up and a scorned girlfriend, posted all this because she was upset? I mean, I think that's the reason why the Spurs haven't come out and said anything, because they have to do their due diligence. Like any company, they got to do their due diligence. I mean, for all we know, what if they were broken up and this was all okay? Then what's the next thing to come out? Well, you're not supposed to have relationships with players' family.
Yeah.
Okay, so then brings up a whole nother issue, and that's the thing. I don't. To be honest, I'm going to be honest, man. I don't care what happens. It doesn't.
Yeah, I didn't
like,
care. Yeah.
I mean, I don't care which way it goes. To me, I saw the news. I'm like, okay, big deal. Does it affect Victor Wembanyama on the court? No. Does it affect Carter Bryant's, development? No. Then I don't really give a shit. So it doesn't really bother me too much. But like you brought about the memoriality clause, the Spurs have to do their due diligence because we don't know if they were actually together at the time. I mean, I have no idea what to think, and nor, like I said, nor do I care.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I see everybody firing off comments. We're gonna get to them in a few minutes, but there's the quick and dirty what happened. Again, we'll see what the Spurs do moving forward, if at all they make any statement. Again, the Spurs have not released a statement as of this show. All right, moving on. We got a very speculating rumor that popped up out of nowhere.
This is a weird rumor.
This is a weird one, but
rumor.
I mean, we're gonna again because we're on a time crunch for this episode. We'll probably just gloss over it too. There was a report. Do you have that report on you right now?
I do not, but I can bring it up while you're talking about
I'll pull it up right now. Yeah. But there is a report that after the fallout with the Boston Celtics and Jaylen Brown, that the Boston Celtics now want to shore up their roster. So a report came out via Sean Devaney. I think it's right, Sean Devaney. He works as a content editor for Heavy.com. According to him, that the Celtics want to surround Jason Tatum with depth, role players, and are likely to target Herb Jones from the Pelicans and Keldon Johnson.
Yeah.
Again, the report really hasn't get any traction, but it's out there. With Keldon Johnson kind of being the odd man out, he has at least on paper, it seems that way now until Tobias Harris, the rise of Dylan Harper. You know, he pretty much wet the bed at the worst possible time, the NBA Finals. He's still young. He's still in his prime. He has accolades. Is he the most tradable piece? I can see why Boston would want him. He's a great role player for Jason Tatum. But I don't know. You think this has any legs or nah, not really. This is just somebody's, I said, very speculating, and it is very speculative.
And I think where you mentioned the guy, I was able to see it on Jonah Kubasek off of Yahoo Sports, and he mentioned it too. So the only reason why it's brought up, Jeff, is because of Tobias Harris signing. That's it. Everybody's speculating that Tobias Harris is going to come in and take, that 6-man away from Keldon. First off the bench, he's going to take all the minutes away. And a lot of it goes to, well, because Keldon had a really bad playoff performance, not just finals, but a pretty bad playoff performance in his first playoff. So I think a lot of speculation comes out like that. Well, they got Tobias Harris, so maybe Keldon Johnson might be available now. They may not want to use him. Yes, he's a very tradable piece. He's got a great contract, and he's got one that's going to be expiring here pretty soon. So he's a really valuable piece when it comes to trade assets, but you're not going to get rid of Keldon Johnson just to get rid of him. It's going to, like I said before, it's going to have to take a superstar to come into play where you're going to probably have to move a Keldon and a De'Aaron Fox type of contract to get a big-time star here. I don't think they trade him just to trade him. If they do trade him, again, I said before, it's because they maybe are going to get somebody in another deal. So you got to clear cap space and you got to clear minutes up. So right now, it's speculation. It's kind of weird that he comes up, but the only reason why his name comes up is because of the Tobias Harris signing. I mean, let me paint a quick picture for you. A lot of Spurs fans were really complaining about, well, Roy Hachimura, we need, Nas Reed, we need big guys. Robert Williams, I mentioned him. We need big guys to come in and fill this void. Well, let me take you back. Remember, they were a finals team. They were a team that overachieved. They only used one backup big in Luke Cornett. So they're only bringing back Luke Cornett, and they added that depth in the draft with Quentin Nance and Terrence Reed. So bringing in a guy like Tobias Harris, he answers every question that you had going into the offseason. Keldon Johnson is a part of this team going forward. I don't believe in any way, shape, or form that they're going to trade him unless it's for like I said, an impactful player. You're talking about the 6-man of the year coming in the next year. I think he learned from his NBA playoff experience. I think he's going to continue to get better coming off the bench. He's definitely not a piece that you're going to trade.
Yeah, exactly. I think it'll have to be a comparable piece or maybe just another big, maybe a set big already that's already been through the wars in the NBA, like make an impact because considering how Terry Reed is developing. But outside of that, I don't see it. Again, this is a very speculative. I mean, the key word there, likely to target. See, likely, that should trigger you right there. Everybody saying, okay, he's just speculating.
Yeah.
But again, it's out there. And look, Boston and the Spurs have done business before. Derek White, that's the biggest example right there. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I don't see a trade happening. I mean, what does Boston have that the Spurs want anyway? What would they want? Lisa Robinson, he can't get traded. That's what the only piece I would want, but he's already been traded.
No, I mean, if they're serious and they're like, you can have almost anybody, I'm going after maybe Sam Hauser, maybe Pritchard. If I go after, man, I'm trying. Blake Shireman is another. Blake Shireman is another one that I would go after. You want to go after a shooter, so I think those guys would probably be. Yeah, they'd be on my radar when it comes to San Antonio if I'm moving Keldon for anybody out there. But I lose a big body and a guy that, gets a couple of rebounds, rebounding. He plays in the paint. He's basically the inside menace that you need when Victor's not on the floor. And it sucks he had a bad playoff performance. But again, you could circle a lot of guys that really underperformed and underachieved in the playoff run by San Antonio. But at the end of the day, they're runner-ups in the NBA. I mean, this is, again, a team that overachieved last year. I didn't expect them to make a whole lot of moves in the offseason. So I expect them to run it back, add a couple of pieces, which they did in Tobias Harris. They're great draft picks. And one Billy Donovan. Don't forget about that.
Yeah, good point.
Big addition. Oh, there he is, the commando right there.
Can't believe that guy's on the bench now with the Spurs. That's awesome. That is awesome there. But nevertheless, yeah. Again, I take this report with a grain of, I wouldn't even call it a report, just somebody's opinion. How's that?
Yeah.
And that's all I really was. So I think this is just speculation at best. We'll see if the Spurs do. But I mean, on paper, Keldon is the most tradable player they have heading into the next season.
Absolutely.
So if they're going to do some wheeling and dealing, don't be surprised to see his name pop up as the NBA trade deadline gets closer. All right. Let's get into some feel-good news now. In case you missed it, Carter Bryant did something that every son should do for their mom. Not necessarily to this level, but really show true appreciation. In case you missed it, Carter Bryant bought his mom a brand new Mercedes-Benz. For those who don't know, he's from the California area, so he went to a California dealership. What a nice moment. You know what? If I was my nerd butt, I would gift my mom the Thunder Tank.
I wish I was able to gift my mom a car, period. But nonetheless, she's gifted me a car by signing for it. I had to pay for it, though.
There you go.
But yeah, no, I mean, great moment. I mean, that's the kind of stuff you want to see, young NBA players getting their first contract and giving back to their parents, especially like the mom figure, because, I mean, what better way to do than to take care of mom, man? I mean, she birthed you. She brought you in this world. Like my mom always said, I brought you in this world. I can take you out of it. So, I mean, you want to take care of moms and dads, whatever you need to do to take care of your parents, take care of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. By the way, Rudy, yes, I did get your message. I will fix the music because I know YouTube gets all weird about that stuff.
Yeah. Just in case we get booted, we're sorry, but YouTube is kind of crazy on stuff like that.
Yeah. I don't think we will, though. I think we stuck it by. I think. See, how was that? Like more than 8 seconds, 10 seconds, they'll give you an allowance, something like that.
I think so. Just in case.
Just in case. Yeah. But anyway, that was we're getting moment there, considering the whirlwind of the Toby thing going on right there. We got one more feel good thing right here, and a new mural has popped up in San Antonio. Yes, more murals. This one is via. I'm going to try to put it up here on your screen, everybody, so you can see here. This is via JC Art, and it is featuring the Spurs new big core, I should say. So you get it up here. Actually, Rudy, is there a way I could do like the screen, like want to show like a Twitter thing? Yeah, there's somewhere I could do that so I can show it to everybody.
Let me see. I mean, I can do that one time.
But whatever. Rudy is working on that. I'll get it right here.
I got it.
But basically, it is a new image of the Spurs young core. It features Carter Bryant. It has Victor Wembanyama, obviously. It has Devin Vassell. It has Dylan Harper. I mean, it is a phenomenal mural. I'm going to get a screenshot of it right now for everybody here. But again, do you think sometimes maybe San Antonio overdoes it with murals? I don't know. So I feel like What's next? A mural of the bench next the water boy. Like, what's next?
Oh, I want to know when Billy Donovan gets his mural up here, man.
And there you have it, everybody. You see on your screen right there.
Yeah.
What do you think, man? What do you think?
I mean, I don't mind about the murals at all. They're pretty cool. I'm just glad that they don't ever get really messed up. I mean, people don't, graffiti them or anything, which I love
Yeah.
that they don't, but I don't mind it at all. It's pretty cool. It's almost like a San Antonio tradition now. You're brought into the Spurs organization. They kind of you get you represented by getting the mural up on the wall, and I have no issues at all. What's good about it is that a lot of the murals are on the south side and the east side of town.
Well, this
So,
was
I
on the
mean,
west side.
oh, this is on the west side. Hey, man,
This was on the west side.
So they're on parts of town where you would expect to see, good art everywhere. I mean,
Yeah.
growing up, I lived on the west side, obviously, so I would see a lot of what people consider graffiti and all that. But I mean, if you look at it, some of it's amazing art. I mean, I'm looking there like, I couldn't draw stick figures in that situation. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's great art. I'm cool with it. I love it. I love it.
Got
Absolutely.
another mural added to the many murals across San Antonio. There's even a few nearby where I live. I live downtown San Antonio, everybody, and I'm like surrounded by three of them. So even that new one that has the big the one about with Cornette and Harper and Wemby. I thought they were done. They weren't. I thought it was gonna be all black and white. No, they added color to it. There's that other one in downtown off Guadalupe Street. And then there's one. Oh, then there's the big one that I'm next to of the big candle. It's in downtown San Antonio on one of the buildings. So they are everywhere. But I don't know. Sometimes I think murals should be given to those that are really good players. I'm gonna say an exceptional player, not just
Mhm.
Wemby or Harper, but you got to be good. You got to be like Olynyk got his mural. Do you think he should have gotten a mural?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's team. Like it's a team thing for the fans. The fans love the San Antonio Spurs. I don't mind them showing off, Olynyk or I mean, you know what? If anybody's out there doing these murals, give me a mural with Uwe Blob and Zarko Pasby.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
I mean,
Dwayne Shinsis.
let's do an international mural of all the international players that came to play in San Antonio, starting with like Uwe Blob and Zarko Pasby, Andrew Gaze, Mink Patir. I mean, we can go on and on about international guys. That would be pretty cool. But I have no issues. Here's the issue I have, Jeff. I'm gonna tell you right now. Murals are fantastic. My biggest issue is how come the Spurs don't have it? I don't want to wait for this new arena because no telling if it's ever gonna happen. Why don't they have statues, man? I mean, you've got legends.
Yeah, I know.
You-
I just don't see Popovich being okay with that.
So the greatest power forward and arguably could be a GOAT of the NBA and Tim Duncan is not good enough to put a statue for. David Robinson, who saved a sinking franchise, is not good enough to put a statue for. George Gervin, the first,
Man, yeah, he has one already though in Michigan at his old alma mater. He has a statue.
he's got one in Michigan, but we can't put one up here. I mean, can we not start a GoFundMe account for some of these statues? That way the Spurs don't have to worry about, spending their own money for it. I mean, geez, man.
Yeah. Ah, we'll see. But overall, I think the mural's nice. It's really, really cool. We'll see what the next one brings up. All right. We're running out of time. Rudy, let's catch up with some Spurs fan comments. I'll take that off the screen there for everybody. There you go.
Let me make sure. Of course, Yasha was in here earlier saying hit the like button, hit it hard. Or Tim Gonzalez says, "What's up, guys?" Now this is where earlier when we were talking about coffee. It says try a shy latte,
Okay.
chai
Try
latte.
all right.
He also gave me another recommendation: Hawaiian coffee. I've never had Hawaiian
Like
coffee.
it's just from Hawaii, or is that the flavor or the name is called Hawaiian?
I don't know. I'm gonna look it up when we're done here. Jacob Eric Reed and Marcus checking in. Kingston Fleming balled out today. We got
He
free.
did San Antonio's own. He went to Brennan.
Yeah, and Tim was asking about Kingston Fleming predictions for his first year in the league. I'll give you mine. Uh, I don't know if he's rookie of the year. As far as point guard goes, I think he makes Atlanta a way better team than what they were last year. And they were a playoff team last year. So he brings a little bit more balance and stability to the point guard situation. I expect Kingston Fleming to have a really decent year in his rookie campaign. Terrence Reed is going to complement Victor very well. I've seen enough pair him up with Wimby. That was a comment I told you about earlier.
Yeah.
They will cause havoc and ruckus for many years. I
Sure
don't
will.
know if he's ready just yet.
Just a little bit more seasoning. Just a little bit more seasoning.
A little bit. He's there, but he's not quite there yet. What do you think about that? The Kawhi Leonard trade got blocked.
I don't blame the Raptors one bit. I don't blame them one bit because according to them, the NBA told them that whatever repercussions come from the investigation with the Clippers getting paid under the table falls on them.
Yeah.
So why would you want to take that risk? It's not worth it. It's not worth it. But it's interesting that Kawhi reportedly has cut ties with Uncle Dennis. Uncle Dennis.
Well,
but I ultimately I think the hammer's gonna be dropped on the Clippers. It's just too much circumstantial evidence to prove that Ballmer did some dirty business there.
I mean, this would be the second time in what 10
That's
years?
right. He's gotten caught before.
Well, no, remember the Donald Sterling thing, where
but also okay, right? Yes, but also,
and then
Ballmer also got into something similar situation in the past with the Clippers that didn't really get a lot of attention.
Man, Clippers are on a bad streak right now. That's obvious.
Oh yeah, they're going to be one of the worst teams next year.
Jacob Horner, is Carter Bryant going to get more run next game? Yeah, I mean
I think so.
Curtis Williams did say he would get some run next game,
and also too, I don't expect him to play that much after maybe 1.5 more games. Because remember, you can play him for a half, and that's it. They're done for the rest of the league.
Yeah, and yes, needs to work on that 3. I'm going to jump to a comment that we got in recently, and this is a really one. I want to bring this up because she did it up mentioning it in. At Spurs Answer, just catching up on the live. Some of those comments about the Toby situation sound strongly male. I'll continue to watch the rest and hope I'm not disappointed by Rudy, because Jeff is one of my favorites of all time, basically. And I'll comment on this. And Jeff and I, you can go back. We weren't, we basically said that in this situation, it's more of an internal thing. It's something that Jeff and I, we don't comment on because, again, we don't work for the Spurs. It's an internal thing. Our opinions, unless it's basically on the court, we don't really have much of an opinion on it because we're not directly involved. We're not directly involved with the Spurs. As long as it doesn't happen on the court, doesn't affect players, we don't comment. So I'm thinking a lot of the comments you read are just that. They're the comments on the show. Nothing came out between Jeff and I when it comes to, we're siding with so-and-so or we're siding with so-and-so.
No,
we don't do that.
We didn't take sides. And I just, for me, it was just more, it sounded more like a personal matter with Jacob and all those involved. And that for me, out of the fear of when does it end? When does any company, organization start monitoring people's behavior outside of work? Yeah. That was the thing for me, because I think that's a slippery slope for anything. It could happen even to you, Ann. You could just be videotaped getting drunk at your family's party and throwing F-bombs and cussing this and that. Is that enough for your job to fire you? Like, when does it end? That was my thing too. But I also said too, I was not surprised that the Spurs did this because they want to keep up their squeaky clean image, and because he is a front-facing person, he was involved with the players loosely with the system, and that he does do community events. So all of that together probably did him in. So there's that. Yeah.
So we got other comments. So yeah, we again, that was our whole talk on that there. Maybe during the season, Reed Jr. might start. It depends on the matchup opponent.
I could see that. I can see that. Yes. Like around All-Star break, I can see that.
This is remember you and I used to do we would go into the what if universe. You would dive back in the day on some old shows, and that's almost a what if topic, because matchup wise, say OKC starts Hardenstein and Chet. I mean, could you possibly see Mitch go with a Terrace from Victor if it's early in the season? Like maybe 15 games, 16 games in the season, they're playing OKC. Do you maybe experiment with that early just to see how it works? I mean, that's actually a really good question on the what if side.
Yeah, absolutely. But I can see him start. I can see a situation where maybe Wemby's load management game and they go double bigs with Cornette and Terrence Reed. I can see something like that. You can see something like that. But it'd be far and few between for him starting.
Yeah.
All right, what else we got?
Let's see. Spurs are missing a starting power forward. I think Wembanyama should play power forward and find a true center. Oh God, that's a tough one. Victor wants to play the power forward spot. I don't think they're missing a small forward. You've got
I don't think so.
Devin, you've got Julian
They're good. They're
Champagne,
good in the small forward department.
Stephon Castle can play small forward. You just signed Tobias Harris, who could play small forward. Carter Bryant could fill that small forward role.
Mhm.
They're good on that sense. I don't know. Maybe he means a small forward that's impactful. But then again, that's where Devin
I think that guy's
Vassell-
impactful.
Yeah,
You're screwing now.
that's what I'm saying. Devin Vassell, I mean, career year under Mitch Johnson, and not point wise, just overall play. I mean, he was probably one of the best players on the year. So I don't think they need a small forward. I think they're good there. Could JQ or Reed Jr. be like Carr back in the 90s physical guy? So Antoine Carr, man,
That's on Carr.
a reference. Jeff, that would probably be a good, not ceiling, but that could be a type of impact Terrence Reed has. Because remember, Antoine could score the ball.
Yeah.
And he had that little jump shot that he could knock down. Man, that's a good one. I don't know why I could see Terrence Reed being like even a J.R. Reed type of player.
Oh man, that's deep there. I remember Jerry, the last player to wear 21 before Duncan.
Yeah, and I think he even wore number 7 at one point, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of guys you.
Oh no, that was Sidney Green, wasn't it?
Sidney Green wore 21.
Green.
J.R. Reed was 7. Oberto stole it from J.R. Reed. I have a number 7 jersey, and fun fact, when I bought the number 7 jersey, I thought it was a J.R. Reed jersey. Turned out to be Fabricio Oberto, so I kind of got screwed on that deal there.
Yeah, my bad. It was Sidney Green that wore 21 the last before Tim Duncan wore it. So
yeah. Malik Brown from Duke. Remember Malik Brown played with Cooper Flag and Con? Yes, he did. And these are the Toby comments. We got into all the Toby comments. I'm not going to really play those much anymore because we played them all already. Melendez on the summer league has potential, by the way. I see it there with Melendez, but I still years away from.
Yeah, I think he's G League bound.
Maybe he needs a lot of reps to straighten up. He is athletic. He's very athletic. He shoot the ball, but he's definitely years and years away. Let me find some other comments because this is when we got into the Toby talk. So again, we pretty much don't do with all that stuff.
We already took care of that already.
Tim is saying you're a big celebrity in San Antonio, so I want to say that you are. I mean, I think you are a big celebrity, Jeff.
No, not at all, dude. Just to the host cons.
They say they want you to be the new play-by-play guy. Would you take that job?
I would take it, but I'll need some reps to get in first. I need a lot of reps. I see what the Spanish radio guy, Paul Castro, does just to prep for his radio show. And you should see the notes everywhere on his desk. It's just insane.
Paul Castro, man. I've met him one time. I've never really formally met him when I used to cover games. I was like, hey, Paul, how you doing? He says, hey, how you doing? And that was it. That was it. So that's the most I've ever got out of Paul Castro. But
here's a little fun fact. He is the longest tenured media guy for the Spurs. It was longer than Bill Mann. It was longer than Bill Shoney, and he's still.
Does he have as many years as Jay Howard?
More.
Wow. Okay, because Jay Howard was the man for a while there.
Yeah.
So yeah. Also, Tex Rickens in here says, "What up, guys? It's been a while."
Oh, we got a super chat.
Super chat did come in. Spurs Ann is in here.
Hey, Spurs Ann, thank you.
Keep up the posts about your Substack. Appreciate you, Jeff. So yeah.
Oh, thank you, Spurs Ann. Like it. Yeah. And thank you for the super chat. That Substack is active, even the off season, and we got a lot more tomorrow. So keep an eye on that, Spurs Ann.
I think we got our Terrence Reed guy in here. I just came in. Hey, Rudy, Terrence is way better than Roy Hibbert that you always reference to.
Oh yeah, that's the guy. Yeah,
okay.
That's the one that has an issue with you.
So okay, so again, I did say,
And by the way, thank you, Spurs Ann.
Yeah, appreciate it, Spurs Ann. Jeff does a great job on Substack. So here's my thing. I commented earlier and I had fun with it. I poked fun at you as well. So don't take it the wrong way. We poke fun at everybody here. But with my Roy Hibbert comment, when I said comparable right now, I compare him to Roy Hibbert the way he played. Now, I've never once said that's his ceiling. I think he has a higher ceiling. Jeff mentioned Jalen Duren is possibly. I think the possibility of Jalen Duren is there, but he's a better offensive player than Jalen Duren. I don't know if he's there physically and defensively like Jalen Duren, but that's Jeff's ceiling comparison. For me, I don't really have much of a comparison ceiling wise. If you talk to me about Connecticut, yeah, I mean comparable. My comparison to him was Roy Hibbert. Comparison wise doesn't mean he's going to be Roy Hibbert level, like that's the most that he can accomplish. Of course, he can be better at the end of the day, but for me, a comparison coming into the league was Roy Hibbert. That's the exact same guy that I said on draft night when Jeff and I talked to him. My comparison was Roy Hibbert. So don't think that that's his ceiling. It definitely is not his ceiling, but I mean, even if it was his ceiling, you're not talking about a bad player there in Hibbert. I mean, for a while there, he was tearing up the NBA for a little bit there. So yeah, I mean, don't take that the wrong way. And he's either saying either Jeff or Tyner. I don't know about. I think Jeff should replace Toby. No matter about, but Jeff doesn't want to do it.
I didn't say I didn't want to do it. I just said I needed reps. Don't need reps.
What would you get reps in? Then you'd have to go do. Why don't we go to our alma mater and go get reps there? They could use a play-by-play guy. I can do the camera work for you. Me and our
alma mater now.
Our producer, our alma mater right there, Keldon Johnson. Talk about Keldon. Shout out to Texas. He said on a side note, 4 weeks till he graduates and he takes his surgical tech certification says, so it's close. He's been on that for a while. Back in the Sweep the League days, he's been.
Good luck, Texas. Good luck.
Definitely. They're talking more about Keldon. A lot of people saw how much weight he gained that hurt him. Maybe if that's what you're talking about, they should have dealt him to Denver for Aaron Gordon. That was rumored, Aaron Gordon to San Antonio. I know Keldon was in those talks. I don't still think you move Keldon Johnson. I mean, if you do, maybe it's a trade deadline move, Jeff.
Yeah. Again, it'll have to be a very, very impactful player coming to San Antonio, whether it be on the 3 line or more help in the paint.
Yeah, they said back in April, if someone told you that they were hiring Billy Donovan, you would say no. Right?
Yeah, I thought you're crazy. Yeah.
I don't know. When he got fired, I mentioned that he could have a home.
I thought he was going to Orlando. I thought Orlando was going to be his next stop.
Yes and no. The only stop I had him making, and I think the reason why he not only did, he left where he was, but I think he thought Golden State was going to be available on Steve Kerr on all those talks about him not going back. So when it got filled, I think Orlando was the next choice, but now in San Antonio, I mean, he's really got a cushy job in San Antonio. Jeff, are you a White Sox fan?
No, I mean, I already gave the reason why I'm having a White Sox hat is because my old Spurs hat is old. It's dingy. And every time I would edit these shows or record a show and I would see me wearing the old hat, I said, oh my God, it looks like garbage now. So I went to the store and I found, just give me something that's close to Spurs colors. And ta-da, there it was. So it's kind of, it's black, white, and has an S. That kind of counts.
Somewhat. The Spurs, Jeff's original Spurs cap was back in the Kobe Dietrich days. So
yeah, that's how I am. I remember I used to have the one with that. Remember that one that had the big script S, and it was PURS. Yeah, remember that one? I used to have, that was my favorite one. It was just that old.
Dang, Rudy Andrew Gaze. That's a name I haven't heard in a minute. I like to make up a lot of good names. How come the Spurs don't play at least 2 home games in the Alamo Dome during the rodeo? Because
thank you. You can do it up in the dome.
So
I'm
glad that they brought this up because this is the topic you and I talked about. My question to you, Jeff, is because they're getting a new arena downtown, when it happens, should the rodeo road trip be eliminated? There should be no reason to have a rodeo road trip.
I think it should.
Okay, that's my thoughts too. So I love the dome game. You got to have.
Yeah, I think the dome game was good. The anniversary game years ago at the dome was a hit. That's when the Spurs were just really bad. Golden State came and just wrecked them. But it was not about the game. It was about. I mean, obviously it was about the game, but it was just being back in the dome was something special. Although I wish they dropped the blue curtain. They didn't do the blue curtains.
That would have been crazy. Put those retired numbers up there again. So Spurs was talking about the comments, and she says, I do have skeletons like everyone else does.
Okay.
Everybody does. Reed Jr. is ready to go. The other guys, not so much. He's ready, but he's not ready to go completely. He's getting there. Trust me, he's getting there. Spurs in Focus. Until next time, definitely see you later on that.
Yeah, see you later.
Brought that one up, and then he says, "Gotta read, thanks, bro." So again, I think we got the.
Yeah, I got to just run at you on the comments, man. Before
I love it, and again, if you guys know me, I don't mind the comments. It doesn't really affect me. When you give it to me, I give it back. And at the end of the day, if I was to see you in person and we're at a bar, I'm buying you a beer because that's just the person that I am, dude. I love having the back and forth. It doesn't bother me at all. Got my Red Sox just so yeah. So he's a big Red Sox fan. Those are all the comments that we got for tonight.
All right. Thank you very much. And thank you, Spurs, and for the super chat. We definitely appreciate it. Hey, again, Rudy and I, we had to hit the light speed button on this episode simply because we got things to do. But we will be back next week with another live episode of Spurs in Focus. Rudy, brag about the answer.
Sports Answer, man. It's myself. It's Derek Irvin. We're going to be actually coming to you live tomorrow night for the Friday Drive. That a couple of weeks ago, we were doing the Thursday Night Delight show. But it's myself, Derek Irvin, tomorrow. Best way to do it is get on Answer Now TV, subscribe on YouTube so you don't miss out. We've added another person to Answer Now TV and also Refocus Network. So the shows are getting bigger, they're getting better, and you can catch all the NBA talk, all the Spurs talk, NFL talk, soccer talk. I've become an Erling Haaland fan. I think that's how you pronounce it. Through this World Cup here. This is the first time I've watched soccer in my life. So I'm loving it. So we're going to talk myself and Derek Irvin tomorrow on the Sports Answer for the Friday Drive on the Answer Now TV.
Absolutely. And Rudy, as always, I thank you for taking time out of your schedule to join us here live on Spurs in Focus. Again, he is Rudy Campos. Follow him on X at the Sports Answer. Everybody else, we thank you for making Spurs in Focus your first and only spot for all things San Antonio Spurs. You only want to come here every minute, every day, every moment, every week, every hour. Yeah, come here to Spurs in Focus for everything silver and black. Ignore the rest. Unsubscribe to those other shows. You want to subscribe here to Spurs in Focus on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Podcasts, YouTube Music. The list goes on and on. So Substack, Spurs in Focus Substack is completely free. Google it, type in Spurs in Focus Substack, and then you'll find it. Hit subscribe. You are part of the crew. Rudy and I will definitely be back next week. I'm chasing a guest, a very special guest for next week. I'll give you a little hint. It'll be nerdy. It'll be worth it. You'll see what I mean. Hopefully the individual can join me here for a show on Spurs in Focus. And yes, we will talk about the silver and black, and we're going to mix in some nerd stuff. So yes, we will do that. Hopefully. But I'm excited for that if it does happen. We'll probably be back on Monday with a show. We've got some good stuff lined up. The Substack's going to be very busy tomorrow, so don't forget to go subscribe right now. Spurs in Focus Substack. And go Spurs, go Summer Spurs. Hopefully they can finally get that W over the offseason. So for Mr. Rudy Campos, I am Jeff Garcia, and now you're in Focus with Spurs in Focus.